What's up, YouTube? I'm the Tatted Bald Guy, and welcome to my channel. I must admit, I'm excited already. When you see a box this wide, it can only mean one thing: an X-shaped guitar. So why waste any time? Let's jump right in. I've purchased guitars from Westcreek before, and they always come double boxed. So we're off to a good start. Should I sneak a peek? I think I should sneak a peek. Inside this box, we have the newest guitar from Westcreek, the High Voltage. There are two different versions of the High Voltage, one with a Floyd Rose, one without. Believe it or not, I chose the one without because of the color options. Aside from the color options, there's a few other differences. The Floyd Rose only has a bridge pickup and a kill switch. The kill switch is pretty cool, but I already have two guitars with a kill switch on it already. I was a big fan of this color, so I decided to go for this one instead. And this one is also $60 cheaper than the Floyd Rose, so that doesn't hurt. Alright, let's jump right in. We have our user's manual. We have our Allen key. Okay, it looks like that's it. The styrofoam is form-fitting, so it keeps the guitar snug during transit. Good stuff, Westcreek. Well, not only is it double boxed, it looks double bagged as well. That might seem kind of redundant, but if it gets delivered on a rainy day, you'll be glad they did it. Are we ready? Oh. A very, very small nick in the paint on the back. It's not terrible though. Okay. So here we have it. My Westcreek High Voltage in purple. You can get this guitar for $239 on Amazon. Some of the basic specs of this guitar: it has a mahogany body, a maple neck, and a rosewood fretboard. One of the first things I like to do when getting a budget guitar is I run my fingers down the frets to see if they're sharp. Nice and smooth. We're off to a good start, Westcreek. All right, let me flip it around and have a look myself. All right. Well, my first impression is I absolutely love the color, and I think the flame inlays are badass. This guitar is only 22 frets, and I'm wondering if this body shape is going to look a little small when it's up against me. So coming up next, we're going to have two different tone tests. The first tone test is going to be coming out of my amp. We'll get a live room sound. I'll give you some chugs, some cleans, and maybe even a lead or two. Following the amp test, you're going to hear a full mix demo, and you'll be able to hear what this guitar sounds like when you're using amp sims as opposed to a live amplifier. All right, let's tune it up and see what it's got. Okay, for this part of the tone test, we're going to be coming out of my Boss Katana 100 watt head, and we're going to be going into my Harley Benton 2x12 cabinet down here. I know you can't really see it. So I haven't played back any video yet, and I have no idea how this guitar looks against my body. Is it too small of a frame? I'm not too sure. That being said, let's try the neck dive test. No bueno. This guitar has neck dive. So I did see one review on Amazon, and they said the pickups were horribly noisy. I'm not too technical, but the reviewer said that the pickups were wired wrong. So let's hear just how noisy they are. This is the sound of my amplifier with all the volume knobs turned down on the guitar. That's the normal hum of my amp going into my Harley Benton. Now, even though I'm not using my neck pickup, let's turn that volume up first. Not much of a change in the sound. The tone. Okay, you hear it's already starting to buzz a little louder because I turned my tone knob all the way up. Ooh. That's no good. And I have it selected to the bridge pickup, and that volume's all the way down. Yeah, that's a real horrible buzz. If you're a guitarist who isn't comfortable playing around with the wiring and trying to fix the pickups, you're definitely going to need a noise gate to play this guitar. That's really loud. Yeah, that's a terrible buzz. Alright, let's do this quick tone test. Let's start off with some basic chugs. Sounds pretty good, believe it or not. Here's a simple metalcore riff for you. Okay, here's a quick attempt to show you a lead tone. Well, as you can hear, the pickups are a lot less noisy when you're on the clean channel. Here are some cleans with a little bit of reverb and delay. Bass heavy. Let's put it back to the bridge. Here is a dry, clean tone, no reverb, no delay. It's time for some final thoughts. I want to end on a positive, so let's start with the complaints. The first is going to be the slight paint imperfections. I know it's a budget guitar, and these things happen from time to time, and you can even see these kind of imperfections on better known guitar brands. Moving on to the next complaint with this guitar, it's really not that big of a deal, but it's worth mentioning. The fretboard was incredibly dry. Thankfully I have some lemon oil, and that should do the trick. One other thing I should add to the complaint section Even though I personally don't think it's that big of a problem, there's a lot of people that might. Compared to some other brands' thin necks that are made for shredding, this one is a little bit on the thick side. As a bass player, I definitely don't mind it too much, but it is noticeable. And moving on to the last complaint, this one's kind of major, the horrible buzzing noise. I'm not sure if rewiring it will help fix the problem, but it's definitely going to need some further investigation. Sure, a great noise gate can definitely help reduce some of that noise, but when you're buying a guitar brand new, these are the things you should know beforehand, especially if you don't even own a noise gate pedal. So let's jump right into the positives. When you're using amp sims like I did for my full mix demo, the noisy pickups are a lot more manageable. I think the actual tone of the guitar is pretty good. So if rewiring fixes the problem, you might not even need a pickup change. As far as looks go, I absolutely love the color. The shape is awesome too. I've always been a big fan of X-shaped guitars, so this guitar is right up my alley. I'm also a big fan of purple, so I was pleased to see another color choice besides the normal black and white. And one last positive about this guitar, the nice smooth fret ends. I say this all the time, nothing's worse than a guitar with sharp frets, where running your fingers down it feels like running your hand on a cheese grater. And now for the $1,000,000 question. Would I recommend that you buy this guitar? Well, if I'm being totally honest, I'm kind of on the fence. If this guitar didn't have the terrible noise issue, I would 100% be recommending you get this guitar. If it turns out to be an easy fix, I'll definitely update this video and further my recommendation. That being said, if rewiring your guitar sounds easy to you, or you were planning to change the pickups in the first place, then definitely get this guitar. But if you're like me, and you're not too technical when it comes to rewiring, be prepared to deal with the noise issue. I really like the way this guitar looks, and it has a nice feel to play, so it's a shame that it has this noise issue. That being said, I'm happy I have this guitar in my collection, and I'll definitely be using it again in the future. So that's going to do it for this one. If you like what you saw, consider hitting that subscribe button. Anyway, I'm the Tatted Bald Guy, reminding you, it doesn't matter the genre, good music makes your head nod. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!